Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday, the 5th of May. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. I want to say thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale for my hat, my dapela, and also to Grandpa Clothing in Dansoman for my outfit. My shirt is lovely. So I've combined my two designers thus far to look what you want me to look today. So thank you to Sonar Fashions in Tamale, 0246590162, and also to Grandpa Clothing in Dansoman and across the nation in Africa. They're on social media, on Instagram. Please find them and get something special for yourself. Today is a very, very special day for me because my first fruit, Ivan Beresford Hughes, is 6 years today. Happy birthday to you, Ivan. I love you, and I pray that you will grow in grace and glory and become even greater and greater than Accra, than your father and your forebears are. Happy birthday. We love you. This is from Mom and I. We love you. Happy birthday to you. The weekend has been very eventful. I tell you what, Reverend Canon Dr. Patrick Okanja-Botier launched 2 books at the British Council. Amazing. Talking about the Great Commission, talking about Echoes from the Pulpit. 2 great books. You had greats there. 3 bishops. You have, an assemblage of very worthy individuals who all came together to support it. So congrats to Reverend Canon Botier. Also, St. Anthony of Padua had their 40th anniversary, and it was just so amazing. Now, speaking of an eventful weekend, I've been thinking, and before I went on my leave, we spoke about that giant structure that I said I had seen on the Spintex Road. And I spoke about it and left it, thinking that, something may have or would have been done about it by now. Only for me to drive through the Spintex Road yesterday. I was going on to the 18 junction, and then I saw the thing again. I said, so this thing is still sitting here as a white elephant. And quickly, what hit me was what I saw in Southampton, what I showed to you when I went to the UK. The South Quay. I saw it, and I said, but what we have here is actually even bigger than what they call the South Quay in Southampton. This is a giant facility. Somebody is bringing investment to us. We're talking about creating jobs. We're talking about trying to find money into our country, foreign direct investment. And somebody brings something like this and is sitting as a white elephant on the Spintex Road. I was not amused at all yesterday. And my drive to and from the 18 junction was mad with a lot of thoughts. I kept thinking and asking myself, so the presidency doesn't know that something like this is there? The national security doesn't know that something is there? What about the Yoko? Don't they know? Don't they think through it? What about the local assembly? What about the Ministry of Employment, Labor Relations? What about the Ministry of Trade? Are they not interested in asking questions why somebody's foreign direct investment? And I saw this coming up in 2017. I saw it with my eyes when the construction started, because I go along the Spintex Road a lot, very often. And I'm not so happy about it, because what I saw in Southampton, in South Quay, right? The mall I saw, what I see here is actually bigger than it, if I'm not exaggerating. Bigger than it. And then you have this sitting down. The jobs, the investments, the lives. And if it's a land that was leased for all these years that is sitting idle, you can imagine. Mr. President, good morning to you. You are the one saying you want to reset the country, you want to bring back investment. Good morning. I'm just saying good morning to you. If this has not come to your attention already, good morning to you, Mr. President John Dramani Mahama. I'm just saying good morning to you. That's all I'll say to you. I won't add anything more. We will sing your praise because now fuel prices are coming down. Yesterday when I checked, they told me that this morning it will be 13 cedis something. So it's coming down. 12.99. It depends on where you buy from. Those of us who do tunu and buy from the top tier, they will knock your head with 13. But it's coming down, and it's a good sign. And then there's the dollar conversation. For us as Ghanaians, when the dollar comes down, we complain. When the dollar goes up, we complain. Come to me, please. The dollar comes down, we complain. The dollar goes up, we complain. And you have different sets of people complaining at different times. But the dollar is also coming down. That is also good news. But this sitting on the Spintex Road, idle for all this period, it's not good news. It is certainly not good news. Something has to be done about this facility. Not good news. Please come to me. Now, today I understand that there's going to be a demonstration. Oh, yes. Yes. You heard about it too, right? In fact, it's been publicized over time. So that demonstration is going to happen today. I'm told that the people are already gathering and massing up. And it's supposed to be in front of what? The Supreme Court area. Mm-hmm. Is that the same area that we said at some point when the minority then, the NDC then, members of parliament, some who are now ministers of state, etc., who went on demonstration against the then governor of the Bank of Ghana for his removal? Is that the same place around the same enclave that was called the security zone? I want to be reminded. You remember the Bank of Ghana demo where they sent a soldier to come and collect the petition? You remember that? A retired soldier coming, a senior officer to come and collect the petition. You remember that? Oh, you remember it? They said, oh, that's precinct, that corner, the Bishop Girls' School, the Central Library, the court area, the I've forgotten what they call, Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, all those places. They called it the security zone. GCB Bank, they called it a security zone. You remember that? Former AMA, in fact, it's still the AMA is one of their, but around that enclave, they called it a security zone. So today, the people who are massing up there, is it no longer a security zone? Because it's the people who are massing up, they were in government at the time, and they were the voices perhaps breathing down the neck of the security institutions to tell all of us that that place is a security zone. I remember that on that occasion I asked, where does the security zone begin and where does it end? Because you can't have an infinite security zone. I asked that question. That answer never came. Today they are massing up right there in front of the court. Is that not a security zone? And should we tag that as hypocrisy? Or nyachum, as they call it in Twi? Or osato, as they call it in Ghana? Should we be tagging it that way? Should we be tagging them as hypocrites, nyachum, or osato, or otrumufeloi in Ghana? Should we be calling them that? Around that same point, when members of parliament, including the leadership at the time, part of the leadership at the time were there demonstrating, they were demonstrating, they were not fighting, they were not throwing stones, they were not shooting at anybody, they were demonstrating. They were called hooligans by the former governor of the Bank of Ghana. They said they should not demonstrate like hooligans. Do you know who a hooligan is? If they say somebody is a hooligan, do you know what that person is? So should we now, today, as they have massed up at the security zone, or a supposed security zone, or a former supposed security zone, should we now be calling them hooligans? I'm asking questions. I've asked the question about hypocrisy. I'm asking the question about hooliganism. We are building a nation. Answer the question. If you supported it in the past, find your voice today and support it. If you disagreed with it in the past, find your voice and disagree with it. But it is only a fool who doesn't change his mind. My point number 3 is that Demonstrations are a democratic right. No debate, no debate. They're a democratic right. Everybody is allowed to demonstrate in a democracy. Freedom of assembly, freedom of association is guaranteed in our laws. But do you remember that in this country, people were picked up, arrested, and put behind bars, charged and put before a court, and the then learned Attorney General Godfrey Dami went to court to say that I will not grant you bail, argued against it in court. And people who were demonstrating for what we all know was hurting us, Galamsey, which today, those same elements who supported Godfrey Dami to make sure that people were kept in jail just for demonstrating and exercising their democratic right, today are saying that talk about Galamsey, talk about Galamsey. I'm suppressing the gun in me, because if the gun in me comes out, you know that when we say some of these things and we ask some of these questions, there's always a tag that comes with it. A tag with the thumb. But I will suppress the gun in me. Say, so stop Galamsey, talk about it. People went out on a beautiful Sunday to talk about Galamsey. And they were arrested, including somebody who said, I was not even part. Somebody said, I came out to charge my phone because my wife had just delivered at 37 military hospital. They said, no, they put the person behind bars. The learned Attorney General at the time went to court to say, don't give them bail. Keep them in the hole. Then we kept people in the hole, and when we give them rice, we want to video them and come and show to the public that we are feeding them. And then we turn on a channel and we don't allow them to watch any other channel. We say, watch police TV. We did that to people in this country. People who were demonstrating, exercising the same rights that are today being exercised today for the same reasons. Because they had a cause. They were allowed. They were not allowed to demonstrate. Today, people are being allowed to demonstrate. It is a good thing, and I support it. But do you remember when the people said, fix the country? The masses says, fix the country. The regime at the time says, fix yourself. Fix the country. The regime says, fix yourself. And then subsequently, our former vice president was sent with 71 pointers to come and tell us, we are fixing the country. Fix the country. Because the people who elected you say you are going the wrong direction. Fix the country. They say, oh, get away there. Fix yourselves. What do you know? Mubadabeng. Fix yourselves. We all know what the results were at the polls. And then our vice president came and said, oh, fixing the country. We fixed ourselves at the polls as the people. We said, okay, we will fix ourselves, don't worry. He said, you won't fix us, we'll fix you. The people of Ghana fixed you. Then we had a regime or a period where even the police will go and seek for injunction against people who want to demonstrate. Either the police will tell you that they don't have enough men to help you to demonstrate, but by the time you get to the place where you are supposed to be demonstrating, they have more men to prevent you from demonstrating. Oh, me, I work close to the presidential drive. If you cross the street where I work from, if you cross the street, you are looking at the presidential palace, as they call it in other countries. You are looking at the Jubilee House or the Flagstaff House, whichever it is that you want to call it. Because we are confused as a people. Where I work from, if you cross the road, that's the presidential palace. It's right there. So I saw how policemen, and on that occasion, one of our workers here was coming to work. They was prevented. They said he should go and pass the other side and come to say, my office is just here. They said, no, we have blocked the place. We are preventing people from demonstrating. Somebody has a petition to present to the presidency. And the petition is at 37 military hospital. The person is supposed to come to the Jubilee House to present the petition, and the 37 area has been cordoned off. Even the Afrikiko traffic light has been cordoned off, and all those places. So how is the person supposed to transmit that petition? People in that same, those same people demonstrating today, law students were demonstrating. Law students, they were sprayed with hot water. Some of them have become lawyers today. Here, right here in front of the Canadian embassy. They were sprayed with hot water. Remember that? Hot water, nula, in this country. Then we started having the culture of, we allow you to demonstrate, but we will decide all the routes that against where, so people would not necessarily see you and experience you. And then when we finish, we go and put you at the Independence Square. And then we will send a deputy chief of staff. Then they will send my brother Gamman to go and collect the petition and assure the people. Close. I'm saying demonstrations are your right. By all means, demonstrate. But you see, if you demonstrate and demonstrate and demonstrate and you're not getting the results, go to court. You remember that one too? Do you remember go to court? You don't remember go to court? When you complain about that thing and you start talking about that, they say, go to court. You don't remember go to court. So now the question is that if we are talking about a matter of law, why are the proponents of this demonstration not going to court? But they're on the streets shouting as hooligans. I'm borrowing Governor Addison's words. Demonstrating in a security zone and being allowed by the security agencies without injunction. And the Attorney General now is not preventing them from demonstrating, or is not even asking for people to be arrested so that he can ask the judges to refuse them bail. You see that things have changed. Things have changed. Now the people who prevented people from demonstrating, they are the ones now demanding for the full pound of flesh with their blood. Oh, they are getting it. In fact, the last demonstration, was it Attorney General, the Deputy Attorney General that joined them to demonstrate? If I were the government, when you demonstrate, I'll join you to demonstrate. We'll complain to ourselves. And then we'll come to the table and say, we will fix it together. Nobody will tell anybody to fix the country or fix yourself. We will fix it together. Because we all sat down and watched the mess happen. So we'll fix it together. The conversation about the removal or otherwise of the Chief Justice, who is now on suspension, is not a matter of demonstration. It's a matter of the interpretation of the Constitution if there's any confusion. In the past, when President Akufo-Addo received petition for the same purpose, he followed the processes in Article 146. He received the petition. He gave it to the Council of State to find a prima facie. They couldn't find. They brought it back to him. And he says, based on that, I squashed the petitions. President John Mahama has received petitions. He said, I am also going to transmit it to the Council of State. Council of State said, we have found prima facie. They say, okay, based on that, we are forming the committee. Madam, please step aside because you can't be there while we still investigate you. And then you have a right to come and appear before the committee and explain yourself. What is wrong with the process? The same process can be instituted in the past, but in the present, it cannot be instituted. Now, wow. Take me to GIHOC, I beg you. This weekend, I just want to refresh your memory what I've been telling you. I've been telling you things about GIHOC in the past. You have not been listening to me. Now, the Deputy Managing Director of GIHOC has been speaking. Yes, speaking. They themselves, when they got there, they were shocked. In opposition, when I was talking about those things, they were not really bothered about it. The people in power were also not bothered about it. But now we know that whatever it is has hit the fan and now everybody is smelling it. Oh, yes, everybody is smelling it. Now look at this invoice. Goa fuel coupons, right? HR admin, this is, 9th September 27, 2024, right? Now, it is fuel for MD September 2024. The amount is 40,000 Ghana cedis. Now, you ask yourself, an ailing company, a company that is not making profit, 40,000 Ghana cedis. Show me the other one. The other ones. Oh, relax. I'll delight you. The amount payable is 40,000 Ghana cedis. I'll delight you. You show me another one. Just let me delight you. Just be putting the documents. As for this place, we have documents, we have videos, we have audios, we have them. Then there's an official trip by the managing director to Kumasi from the 4th to the 28th October 2024. Chief accountant signed it, 30th of September 2024. 57,900 Ghana cedis. You are saying A. Are you Speaker Bagbin? Why are you saying A? You are saying A. Don't say A. Now, there is also official trip by MD to Kumasi from the 1st to the 6th November 2024. 23,000 Ghana cedis. Right? Now, show me the big one. I want the spreadsheet, the big one. The big one that's showing us who is traveling where and what and how and why and everything else. There's a document. Oh, don't worry to expand it. The people can find it. Now, look at it. Look at the amounts. There's 20,500. There's 23,300. There's 57,900. There's 7,144,300. There's 13,700. There's 15,700. 41,500. There's 5,200. There's 17,900. There's 49,800. There's 34,600. There's 27,300. There's 18,200. It goes down 68,000 different amounts. And you find that there's Kumasi in most of the cases. There's Kumasi. Now, you must ask yourself the question, how well is Kumasi GIHOC doing? It's a question that must be asked. The GIHOC branch in Kumasi, how well are they doing? It's a simple question. The GIHOC branch in Kumasi, how well are they doing? Trip to the northern sector, MD's driver, Daniel Akpo Manye. Travel and transport local, so they are not flying or something like this. 15,600. A total of 1,059,404 Ghana cedis. 2022. These are 2022 figures. A company that is ailing. A company that is not making profit. A company that is ailing. A company that is not making profit. Come to me. That is not making profit. And the president made a joke about it, but it was a serious question that the president asked. That how can you sell alcohol and still make losses? It's like asking how can you sell cocoa or kinky or banku and still make losses? How? The president asked this very simple question. We all perhaps didn't pay attention to that question he asked. And I say that the GIHOC story is an example of how some persons mismanage our state-owned enterprises because they are buying dear. If we decide today to do a proper audit at GIHOC and decide to know who was employed at what point and to perform which function at GIHOC, you will be shocked. SSS leavers who were given an opportunity to be at the top, to be dictated to people who had degrees, master's degrees, chartered accountants. SSS leavers, they were kept at the top. And you will wonder why they were kept at the top. Look, in this country, what the president said, I will find that tape and play it quickly. What the president said, if you want to name your child in this country, you know, and maybe you have not paid attention to this. Not so long ago, when you are going to perform any of these traditional rites, they will say, bring Kaiser Schnapp. You remember that? And they will insist that you bring the foreign brand of Kaiser Schnapp. You remember that? They will say, bring Kaiser Schnapp. And say, bring the foreign version of the Kaiser Schnapp. GIHOC was able to turn that conversation around. Okay, not the Kofi Juma GIHOC. The GIHOC before Kofi Juma was able to turn the situation around to say that, look, now when today, if you are going to a chief's house and you go there with 2 bottles of Castle Bridge, it is accepted and seen as an equivalent of Kaiser Schnapps in the past. Now, if a compelling marketing platform has been created like this for you, how do you go there and still go and fail? Nobody advertises for Gary. The one we used to eat in school, the Lion Sugar, the cube sugar. Have you ever seen an advert of Lion Sugar before? It sells. Gary, it sells. There are things you don't advertise, but they sell anyway. That is what the GIHOC story should have been. You are naming your child, GIHOC is in there. People die, GIHOC is in there. Wedding or traditional marriage, GIHOC is in there. You offend a chief or an elder and you want to go and apologize, GIHOC is in. They are there all through. Every single point in our society, they are there. So how did they run at a loss? To the point where some of the quality hands that they had at GIHOC before Mr. Kofi Juma went in there left the occupation. I'm saying it got too bad to the point where SNIT had to take GIHOC to court. The record is there. I showed you here. It got so bad that GRA had to write to NIB, the bank, to say, we will gonna share the account. You are holding on money that GIHOC is supposed to give to us. And this, before Mr. Kofi Juma took off, this was the same GIHOC that was listed on the, what do you call it, was climbing up and getting awards. And they hadn't owed GRA, and GRA was almost every time, congratulating them. But here we are. The levels of mismanagement that we had. And I've showed you how much we spent in trying to just transport. And I'm saying, what was in the Kumasi office? If you dig further, you find funerals. If you dig further, you find visitation, personal rights. Because if you are spending all these monies to visit a particular region, a particular office of a particular region, if you are spending time to go there, and the place still is dwindling, you must stop and ask yourself the question, is it worth visiting? Or am I visiting in the wrong time, at the wrong time, or am I visiting amiss? But nobody paused to ask that question. And when we raised the question, because the president's in-law was there in the mix. Look, the New York Times, they published something. And it is the falsehood that has been injected into the narrative. The New York Times may not know, so they got it wrong. So because Johnny's Bite is global, we want to correct this mistake quickly. The New York Times says Ghana wanted a cathedral. It got an expensive hole instead. And the story says the nation had grand plans for a national cathedral designed by a celebrity architect. The $400 million project became a political battleground. Leave it there. Now we have become an embarrassment too. A very good example of all that is bad. That is what we have become. A very, very good example of all that is bad. Number one, New York Times, please note, Ghana did not want a cathedral. My church, the Anglican Church, which the president also attends, the former president attends, we have too many cathedrals. We can't finish counting them. The Catholic Church has too many cathedrals. The Methodist Church has too many cathedrals. You can name other cathedrals. So Ghana never wanted a cathedral. The basis of the delight or desire for a cathedral was because President Akufo-Addo said, God, give me a second term. If you give me a second term, I will build a cathedral for you. And the cathedral will not be built with the state's money. It will be built from my pocket and with contributions from other individuals, not the state money. That is the record. Nobody can change that record. But the second part of the story is true. The expensive hole we got is still there. It's evident. Will anybody go to jail because of that? Yes, I think people should go to jail so that they serve as a bad example. Is this what we call causing financial loss to the state? Yes, I think it is. if we are going back to Victor Selome and Kwame Pepra and all of Chachuchikata and all of them, yes, then it qualifies. Did they chop the money on their own? I don't know. They didn't. In fact, some of them defended themselves. Chachuchikata defended his honor. My final thing this morning is that assemblymen. By the way, do you know Dr. Sledge? You don't know him, eh? Me too, I don't know him. I'm looking for him. But there's a notice from the local government office. We'll read that one finally and we'll go away. But I'm asking you, do you know Dr. Sledge? So I should ask the Attorney General, Dr. Ayeni, or Kwame A. Plus. I don't know. Please put the notice up and let's quickly read it. This is dated the 30th of April 2025. It's a wireless message from the Ministry of Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. From the Honorable Minister for Local Government, Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs to Honorable Regional Ministers, all Honorable MMDCs. Dated the 30th of April 2025, submission of details of Honorable Assembly members. Pursuant to resetting agenda of government and in reference to page 73, sections 395 of the 2025 budget statement in economic policy, a provision has been made in the budget for the payment of monthly allowance to all Honorable Assembly members. As part of efforts to initiate the payment of the monthly allowance to the Honorable Assembly members, you are kindly requested to provide details of all Assembly members in your respective MMDAs using the attached template and submit to the ministry via email, and copy, Samuel Passa is there by Friday the 9th of May 2025. Kindly treat this as urgent and submit the information timely. Amin Abdul Rahman is Chief Director for the Honorable Minister, the officer in charge of the Jubilee House communication room. So assemblymen are going to be paid. It was not just a campaign gimmick. Their details are being collected. In the meantime, there's a problem of water in the Volta region that the Ghana Water Company needs to sit up and fix. It didn't start now. It started a long time ago. Maybe it was ignored, but they need to get up and start fixing those issues. And if you have some dollar, I wouldn't tell you to go and swap it. But if you have some dollar, you can keep it. It depends on you. But culture will say, it's coming down, down, down. It's coming down. The dollar and fuel rate right now is coming down. I'll see you tomorrow. Please call me 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. 055-924-2717 and 055-691-0154. Good morning. Good morning.